Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. In our reading today, we see the construction of the temple, which would be the dwelling place of God among his people. And basically what is happening is the Lord is going from a dwelling, which is a tent, which was the tabernacle, to now a building, a more permanent structure, which was the temple. And this was David's desire. David saw his own house and saw what a wonderful house he made and had that was built out of cedar. And he says, and there the Lord is dwelling in a tent. He wanted to build the Lord a house, but that was left to his son to do, Solomon to do. And we see that taking place. And so we have the heart of David and also the heart of Solomon to take the Lord from dwelling in a tent to dwelling in a building, in a temple. And the wonderful thing is that God has the same desire for us, to take us from dwelling in a tent to dwelling in a building. And we read about that in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, starting in verse 1, where Paul says, "For we know that if the earthly tent, which is our house, is torn down, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For indeed in this house we groan, longing to be clothed with our dwelling from heaven, insomuch as we, having put it on, will not be found naked. For indeed, while we are in this tent, we groan, being burdened, because we do not want to be unclothed, but to be clothed, so that what is mortal will be swallowed up by life. And he who has prepared us for this very purpose is God, who gave us the Spirit as a pledge." So God's desire is, yes, today in these bodies, we're dwelling in tents. That is, these temporary structures. They're susceptible to damage, to corruption, to decay. They're temporary dwelling places, but God's heart's desire is to give us buildings to dwell in. And what is being discussed here is the difference between the physical body that we have now and the spiritual body that we will inhabit in the resurrection. Right now we're in a tent, but our resurrected bodies will be like a building. He talked about that and explained that to the Corinthian church back in 1 Corinthians chapter 15, where he says, right now we're dwelling in perishable bodies, corruptible bodies, but in the resurrection, our perishable bodies will be transformed into imperishable bodies. This corruptible body will be transformed into an incorruptible body. We'll go from the state of weakness to that of power. So we will be in a more permanent dwelling, an eternal dwelling in our resurrected bodies. So what a beautiful thing that the Lord has the same heart for us that David and Solomon had for the Lord. To take us from being tent dwellers, that is, dwelling in these physical bodies, to inhabiting the new heavens and the new earth and a new body and a resurrected body that will be permanent and that will be eternal. And we can praise God for that today. So maybe in your tent today, you're feeling the effects of living in a tent. It's not always comfortable living in a tent. It's not always pleasant. But we do have the hope that one day the Lord will put us in a more permanent structure, a more pleasant structure, a new heavenly body, a permanent body, an incorruptible, imperishable, powerful body that will dwell with him forever. And that is our hope as Christians. So with that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.